Hey guys, sometimes the cheapest route is not the best route, okay? This woman's friend got a Brazilian butt lift. Overseas is warning the public that be very, very careful when you go overseas to get procedures done and you go under anesthesia, you don't know what's happening. She said her friend got her kidney stolen. So now I'm wondering, what is her friend going to do? Is she going to seek an attorney to go after this doctor who stole her kidney? So what is her recourse? Because it wasn't done in the United States where she can file a lawsuit, go after the doctor. So the woman who goes by the name of Anita said she went to Dominican Republic for the liposuction and the tummy tuck, and she paid $3,500. Now you know that would have been maybe $15,000 in the U.S., but because it's so cheap down in the DR, everybody runs down there to get a surgery. But guess what? You may lose a kidney. So Anita said shortly after arriving back to the U.S., she started to feel some pain in the kidney area. So she went to her doctor, and when they examined her, because she was feeling all this body ache and headache, she was having a headache, and she was not feeling herself, but she kept having this pain on the side right there where the kidney would be. And when they did the x-ray, it showed up that she was missing a kidney. So now that got me to thinking, I wonder how many people undergo this liposuction, the tummy tuck, and go down there in the DR and Brazil and those places and end up losing a kidney. I wonder how many people are missing kidneys today as a result. They figure all the pain is from the cutting of the abdomen and the suctioning out of the fat, not knowing that it's also the pain is coming from the kidney missing. So guys, be very careful. Organ harvesting is a big thing, okay? It's a lot of money in it. And when you go to these foreign countries, they know you're from a foreign country like the US, and they know that you don't have family, you don't have friends, you have nobody watching over your back. More likely than not, you go by yourself. You don't have nobody watching out for you, asking questions, seeing that you're all right. They'll do with your body whatever they want to when you're under anesthesia, because it's big business. Taking a kidney can net that doctor big money, okay? So be very careful. Don't be a penny wise and a pound foolish. Who else is in the news? Jeezy. Jeezy says when you're trying to do business, nobody cares about what you've done on the streets. He says you don't need credibility when you're dealing with business and doing business. So according to the Breakfast Club, the rapper Jeezy is trying to elevate his life. He had a sit-down interview with the Breakfast Club recently. His real name is Wayne Jenkins. He's 45 years old. He was born in South Carolina, and he spoke about when he stopped caring about street cred. Who cares about how many times you've been to jail? How many times you shot somebody? How many times you did a drive-by? He's married to Jenny May, and they have a child. So he has to step his game up. Can't be thinking the same old way. And that goes for a lot of you young folks out there who is in the rap game and think you're going to still be doing the same thing. You got to think on a higher level. You got to think when you get your families and building a life for you and your wife and your children, or husband and your children. Can't be doing the same thing. So kudos to Jeezy for stepping up his game. So last year, April, Jeezy and Jenny May tied a knot. She used to be hosting The Real, and the celebrity couple welcomed a baby girl named Monaco in January of this year. She was Jenny May's first child and Jeezy's fourth child. So he's a family man, and he's got to be responsible. He's got 4 children now, and he's trying to do the right thing. In other words, Jeezy is about his business now. He ain't got time to be playing no more games. So 50 Cent says his son Marquise is speaking out against him again because he's just seeking attention. And he's talking about this child support. He said, man, you're a grown man at 25. You still talking about child support? Grow up. I know 50 Cent is hardcore, but what he got to realize is that Marquise did not have him in his life as a father. He knows his father is a big celebrity earning millions, and he did not share that with him growing up. So he feel a kind of way. First of all, he did not have the lifestyle. Secondly, he didn't have the love. So of course he's gonna feel a kind of way. And then 50 Cent cut him off. You know, he did not have a number to call his dad. And remember, this is a young man growing up in society. So, of course, he feels kind of hurt. And it may be coming off as he being nasty to his dad, but I think he's got all rights to be nasty at this point. 50 Cent cut this child off, was not in his life for whatever reason. If you got beef with a mother, you don't take it out on the child. And if the child at 13 years old, because I know Marquise at 13 years old was coming after his father, all he needed to do was have a sit down with Marquise and try to turn him around and be more present in his life. And he wouldn't have had a young man now, 25, who hates him. But it sounds to me like if Marquise really want a relationship with 50, his dad. And this is what he said. To me, he's trying to reach out in his own way. I don't want nor need your money. I stand on my own 2 feet. I don't like attention. I had so many opportunities to get that, but I choose not to. Apparently, like interviews, if someone throws money his way for an interview, I think that's what he's talking about. But he chose not to, he says. He further went on to say he saw the interview with 50 Cent on the Breakfast Club. And he said it didn't sound like if 50 Cent took accountability and was just like blaming more. That's what it sounded like, just blaming, like if he was a child in the situation. And he said, those text messages from me, he said, I was waiting outside for you. That was like the day you broke my heart. So Marquis outed 50 Cent. He said, I sent you text messages you didn't respond to. I waited outside for you. When you said you were going to come, you didn't come. And you broke my heart on those days that I waited. His heart was broken. But in spite of 50 not being in his life, Marquis said, I forgive you. And whenever you're ready for a sit down and to talk, I'll be here. I mean, that is so mature, I think. This child is 25. Well, this young man is now 25. And when you are a young man, you think about your own family, starting your own family, getting married, then you start thinking about your own father and the relationship or lack thereof that you don't have with your father. And so I think that's where Marquis is at right now. He wants to be a part of his father's life, not for the money. So he says, not for the money, but just to have a relationship with his dad before he passes on. We're not here forever. Okay, so if you have a father or mother that is still here and living and you are estranged from that person, try to reach out and try to get to know them. I'm talking to my YouTubers now. Try to mend those relationships. You don't want nothing from the person, but you just want to know something about them so you can tell your children something about their grandparents. But 50 Cent seems to have a different take on it. He thinks this kid is clout chasing. He thinks he wants attention. He wants money. But listen, what if he wants money? His dad is loaded. What if you give your own kid a couple of $1 million to get him started? And the ironic part is Marquis looked like 50 Cent, his dad, and they follow the same sport team, New York. So that alone is a good start for them to start building that father-son relationship. 50, come on, give in, talk to your son, get to know him. He's not getting any younger. You're not getting any younger. So that's was on one hand, Marquis' point of view. On the other hand, let's look at 50 Cent's point of view. 50 Cent says, listen, I was giving this woman $500,000 a year, which she was mismanaging. Anybody can live on $500,000, right? So 50 Cent says he was giving Marquis' mother more than enough money to take care of him. And she was not managing the money properly. There's no reason why my son could not have everything that he needed going through his childhood. Because, as a matter of fact, she wanted so much money out of me. I took it upon myself to give her more than what was required of me to give every month. So there's no reason why my son should not have been provided with whatever he wanted based on the money I was given. So, YouTubers, I want you to drop it in the comment section. Is $6,700 enough money in New York City to raise a child? A child who is from a celebrity father, that is. But from the outside looking in, I think Marquez, at 13 years old, picked up the mantle from his mother and went after his father. And his mother didn't stop. Allegedly. Instead of him loving on his father and let the adults iron out their differences, as a child of 13 years old, he had no right to interject himself into what he has to say to his father concerning his child support. What he got to do with it? That's between the adults to iron out and to figure out. So by doing so, and by coming after him and just outing him, allegedly, 50 Cent just decided to cut him and the mother off in terms of communication, but he was still paying child support. So I totally get it. I understand where 50 Cent was coming from. No matter how much he gave this woman, she would still come after him. It's never enough. And 6,700, a lot of women who are raising children would be glad to get in New York City. But I guess the fact that he's a celebrity, more was expected of him. But now I gotta go back to my original point of view. 50 Cent and his son at this point should have a father-son relationship. Keep the mother out of it because child support is done being paid. This is a grown man now. But they should have a relationship. Let's move on to the next story. So according to TMZ, R. Kelly's ex-business manager was acquitted on all charges after being accused of helping the singer cover up years of abuse and is seeking $850,000 in restitution to cover up legal fees. So Daryl McDavis, the former business manager of R. Kelly, was acquitted on all charges last month for his alleged involvement in the singer's federal child pornography trial. McDavis was found not guilty on the 4 charges brought against him, including 1 count of conspiracy to receive child pornography, 2 counts of receiving child pornography, and 1 count of conspiracy to obstruct justice. He recently filed a motion to have his extensive legal fees covered. So I know that's a weight lifted off of his shoulder, that this trial is all over, and good luck to him. Circle K, a gas station out in Florida, is partnering up with a weed company to sell weed at their locations, starting at the end of the year, going into early 2023 and moving forward. This is something new where a gas station will actually be carrying cannabis. The president of the company said it will be a separate entrance, but it will be convenient for patrons who are buying gas to do like a one-stop shop, get their weed at the same time pumping their gas. If this takes off, I would imagine that it's going to be in other locations, other gas stations, other convenience stores, etc. Companies are finding new ways to market their products, and this is just an example of one way. So Circle K is being very avant-garde to introduce this new product at their gas stations. YouTubers, I'm over and out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button before leaving the page. Thank you for watching.